Have you noticed that there's one group that has not made any noise or made videos complain about Trump's policies hurting them or their business? Black farmers. How many videos have you seen of black farmers, excuse me, making videos going, oh, I'm going to lose my farm because Trump cut off benefits. I'm going to lose my farm because the Department of Agriculture no longer gives me subsidy. How many videos have you seen of black farmers doing that? That's because black farmers have historically, till this day, been excluded from all government subsidies. So right now, every white farmer is learning how to survive the same way black farmers have been surviving. Like I said, what Trump was going to do was bring every white American down to the black American level. Welcome to Niggernet.
I'm laughing at these white farmers that voted for Trump and now they're losing their farm. Oh, so sad. Man, you know, you MAGA followers, my bad, need to pick yourselves up by your bootstraps. You tie them things up real tight and get in them farms and get the plowing. You better go hire some MAGA people. Oh, they don't want to work in your farms. You thought when Trump said, oh, the immigrants are taking black jobs, you think we didn't know what he was saying? Talking about, we don't work in the field. That was slavery days. And you thought that you was going to get you a slave. No, we're not coming. We're going to watch your farm go down while you continue to come on TikTok crying. Because you did it to yourself. And we don't care.
Greetings everybody and welcome back to my channel. So MAGA farmers, many of whom proudly supported Trump, are now watching their fields go up in flames, literally. One farmer even touched his own land out of pure frustration. Why? Because the immigrant labor they once relied is gone. And now, in a twist of irony, they are begging black Americans to work their fields. The same America that enslaved our ancestors now want their descendants to come back and save the economy. Nah, not today. Black Americans and black people worldwide are no longer slaves to anyone's survival. We are building our own futures, our own nations, our own economies, our own narratives. So to every MAGA farmer crying out, we see you, but this isn't our fight. We've endured enough trauma. We've paid enough blood. We've earned our right to say, handle your own mess on your own. Let's get to see the reactions. Then we come back with a complete analysis about this topic, alright? Make sure you watch till the end because it is very interesting. Let's dive into it.
That's fine. We're just going to burn the fucking crops. Fuck it. Let everybody starve.
Jerry Spencer turned to unemployed Americans, but says after 2 weeks, most couldn't cope.
The farmer says, start over here and end over here. And that was the extent of their instructions. With the American workers, they all had to be taught all this and separate. And in addition to the fact that their bodies just were not built for it.
Donald Trump does not want your children to be educated. Donald Trump wants your children to work in the goddamn migrant fields. He doesn't think your children are good enough to do anything else. He wants them to be plumbers, auto mechanics, HVAC workers, migrant workers. He doesn't want to see your children with degrees and working in a nice plush, posh office that bothers Republicans. They are getting rid of government workers and it said that they can go work the migrant fields. Are you fucking kidding me or are you shitting me? They've educated themselves. We want our children to rise higher than us. And I'm not knocking anyone who is a plumber, mechanic, HVAC worker, or migrant worker because there is a place for that. But our children shouldn't be forced into that because he doesn't think they're good enough to do anything else. Absolutely fucking not. My children didn't rely on government aid for their schooling, but if they did, it should have been available for them. And Donald Trump is trying to make it almost impossible for them to get government aid to educate themselves. Let that sink in. Now run the fuck along and toodle it.
Them farmers really thought we was going back to them fields. They really thought we was going back to them fields. You know what? My mother was the first generation on her mother's side not to be brought up on a plantation. Not to be brought up on a plantation. That's what I said. My grandfather had a 3rd grade education, but he left my mama 2 houses, property in the bank, property and money in the bank, with a 3rd grade education. And guess what? He worked in fields. My great grandmother worked in fields and cut that cane just like a man. You hear me? And if you think that Eddie Lewis and Victoria C. Jones and all the rest of my ancestors bust their tail in them fields for us to go back to the fields, absolutely not. That's not progress. We're trying to heal from ancestral trauma. We're trying to heal from that. That ain't happening. That produce could rot in them fields before we go back to them fields.
Hey y'all, did I read that article about the dairy farmers? The ones that voted for Trump are speaking out. So now they're sorry they voted for Trump. They didn't think it was going to affect them. They're all crying. Who's going to milk the cows? Who's going to milk your cows? And you put the level for Trump? Well, roll up your goddamn sleeves, bitch. Roll up your goddamn sleeves. Because it looks like y'all got to milk your own goddamn cows. See, it's funny how you're talking about illegal immigrants. Y'all brought them over here. Y'all paid to bring them here. So they can do your work. So they can work on your farms. Y'all white folks paid to bring them here so they can work on your farms. And then you turned around and voted for Trump. Now you're sorry? Because you're looking around your farm and they're all gone? And you want people to feel sorry for you? We don't give a fuck. But you better hurry up and get up and roll up your goddamn sleeve and go milk your cows. One at a time, baby. Go milk them goddamn cows. Wake your family up. Get your fucking husbands up, your children up, get your relatives up. Have them come over there and help you milk your goddamn cows. Because your ass should have thought about it before you went into that booth, pulled that lever with your full chest, and voted for Trump. Now, get up, rise and shine, y'all. Go out there and milk your goddamn cows yourselves.
The level of determination that has been dedicated to try to ensure that Black Americans do not thrive is not by accident. And that is the reason why Black farmers are being shut out again. While the Trump administration rolls out financial lifelines for white farmers, Black farmers are being left out, overlooked, and pushed closer to extinction. And if it weren't for people like John Boyd Jr. sounding the alarm, this story would stay buried in the soil. Let's talk about history. Black farmers once owned 14% of United States farmland. Today, less than 1.3%. How, Sway? I'll tell you. Generational land theft, discriminatory USDA policies, and a long history of being denied access to the very tools white farmers receive as default. And now, in 2025, the Trump administration is doubling down, offering federal farm credits, subsidies, and contracts almost exclusively to white farmers. And they're doing it in broad daylight. John Boyd Jr. has entered the chat.
My name is John Boyd, founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association.
John Boyd Jr., a fourth-generation American farmer, is out here telling the truth.
You need to rise up and speak out now, not later, because if we don't, they're going to continue to take this country down a pathway that is going to take decades to get away from.
He says it clearly. It's not that we don't want to farm, it's that the system doesn't want us to succeed. Let's be clear. This is not about charity. This is about fairness, about access, about survival. The federal numbers don't lie. In 2021, the Trump administration handed out $26 billion in pandemic farm relief. Black farmers received 0.01% of this relief fund. And in 2025, with new rounds of credits going out, the same pattern is repeating. White farmers are getting bailed out. Black farmers are getting boxed out.
I'm looking for $5 billion in debt relief, and I'm asking the Federal Court of Appeals to reverse the decision and grant 17,000 black and other farmers of color 120% debt relief.
The stakes are higher than food. This isn't just about crop yields or subsidies. This is about land, food justice, generational wealth, and the right to live and work with dignity. Black farmers aren't asking for special treatment. They're asking for equal footing. We can't keep letting politicians toss our people aside while offering refuge and resources to others. Not because they're in greater danger, but because they fit a preferred political narrative. If we care about sustainability, food security, or economic justice, we cannot leave black farmers out of the conversation. Their legacy is American history. Their land is American land, and their fight deserves our full support.
There are no words that are sufficient to express how much I love watching these farmers right here reap what they have sown. May their fields lay barren and their familial land, their ancestral land, may it be bought for pennies on the dollar, because they got what they voted for. On the flip side, I just want to send some love and encouragement to the immigrants that are fearful and worried about what tomorrow looks like. Because I get it. We're living in a shit show, y'all. Please do your best to take care of you, to stay safe and surrounded by your loved ones. This is yet another shameful chapter of United States history, but this time around, the world is watching and judging us. This cannot be erased. This cannot be whitewashed. I'm sorry that they've used your communities to stoke so much rage and hatred and anger and violence. You deserve so much better.
When it comes to the white farmers who are losing all of their workers and are about to lose their farms, I say that's the way it was always meant to be. You were never meant to employ all of these people for little to nothing / nothing when it comes to your ancestors and be able to make a profit off of it. It was never meant to be the cool, rad thing that your family does for generations to make money. It was never honest work. It was never honorable. It was always tainted. It always involved holding people against their will to squeeze every single dime you could out of them, whether by force or by threat. It was always about that. And it was never right for this country to make that their foundation and their road to wealth. And so now that it's crumbling, we are returning to the original form of what things should have been. So there you go. I get that they work hard and some of these farms have been passed down from generation to generation. Well, for generation after generation, we've had all of the stuff that you have piled onto us passed down each and every time. I don't want anyone to suffer out here. I don't want anyone to be on the streets or lose their possessions or anything. And I don't want anyone to be exploited for their work either. I don't want anyone building off of the backs of people they deem less than human. So if you're already doing that and you lose the things that you've gained, if you're finally reaping what you sowed, so be it.
Hey, you know, one more thing about that farm thing. There's farmers complaining about how the Trump's trade war is hurting farms. And not just China, even though China no longer buys U.S. beef, that's going to Brazil. They no longer buy U.S. soybeans. They don't buy a bunch of other agricultural products from us because they can source them elsewhere. And these farmers are all over these apps whining and crying that they didn't think it would hurt them. And please, Mr. Trump, I voted for you 3 times, and all this kind of bootlicking kind of BS. The other thing about that is, like I said in my other video, excuse me, there's a particular relationship black people and farms in this country, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. The other thing is, do you remember during the Biden-Harris administration, their administration worked out a settlement with black farmers to pay them back pay for excluding them from bailout money that they were entitled to. The money only went to white farmers. And so black farmers, that's the way it is in this country, had to sue to get their fair share. And after years of court wrangling in the courts and everything, it was finally settled and black farmers were going to get their due. And you know why they didn't get their due? Because white farmers sued to block the government settlement that they had made with black farmers. And white farmers sued saying that the white farmers, were being discriminated against for not getting some of the black settlement money. The black settlement money was because only white farmers got some of the initial bailout money, not black farmers. That's how twisted it is. So to the white farmers online whining about loss of business, threats to having their farms shut down and shut off, I say, fare thee well, good sirs. Fare thee well. You got what you got. You get what you get. You don't pitch a fit. You voted for Donald Trump, and you know what? He is working you over because the big conglomerates, some I hear I've read are owned by J.D. Vance or his companies, are about to buy up your land for pennies on the dollar. And you're going to be one picking those blueberries for $11 an hour, 7 days a week, for 10 hours a day. Literally, how you like them apples?
Fam, what is this nonsense I'm hearing about white Midwestern farmers thinking black folks were going to come and work their goddamn fields after they mass deported all of the migrant workers? What in the fuck? They don't know us at all. They don't know any fucking thing about us. Like our own fucking parents and grandparents didn't size our asses the fuck up. Let us know everything about ourselves. Like when my grandmother looked at me at a young age and said, young lady, you need to keep your black ass in school and go on to college. Working outdoors is not for you. That's my fucking grandmother. She knew me. She was right. So what did I do? Stayed my ass in school. Went on off to college. And now you're looking at a 6-figure nigga. What in the fuck would I look like picking Earl's corn? Earl can kiss my ass. If he could do my black job, I wouldn't have it, now would I?
This isn't just about burned fields or empty farms. This is about a system that was built brick by brick on the backs of black people. A system that profited from our pain, our labor, and our silence. For centuries, our ancestors were chained to land they didn't own, forced to growing crops they would never eat, under brutal conditions. They were treated like property, not people, used, abused, and discarded by a system built on their backs. But those days are gone. We are not our grandparents' generation. Today, black people in America, in Africa, across the diaspora, are educated, informed, and empowered. We are not going back to the backbone of a system that continues to devalue our humanity. We didn't walk away from the land. We were pushed out, shut out by discriminatory policies, denied ownership, redlined, underpaid, and criminalized. They broke our backs, then blamed us for not standing tall. And now, when the system is collapsing under the weight of its own greed and racism, suddenly they remember us. Suddenly they see our value. No, that door is closed. That chapter is over. Let this be a message to the world. Black people are no longer the footstool of a failing system. We are the future, and we are walking forward, not back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do have a lovely time. I'll see you in the next video. If you found value in what we share, kindly consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss any update from my videos. Your support really means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you more insightful content.